welcome back to Beauty and Beyond. Now, before the break, we were talking about the importance of dressing up, accessorizing, etc. Now, let us move on to the next, which is, of course, we cannot forget, behavior. Now, ano ba talaga ang tamang behavior or pag-uugali? Now, I'm gonna make Dina answer that first.
Miss Civility. All right. Right. Well, I'm very happy that I got acquainted with civility.
Civility.
Yes, because a few years back, I was appointed as co-ambassador, co-chair of the Civility Ambassadors Program of AICI Philippine Chapter. So it was a very close connection with all the rules. And it was
the rules on etiquette,
on
manners.
You know what, Abby, you'd be surprised. Etiquette is only a small portion
of civility. Yes, yes.
Civility is a way of life. Civility is a way of thinking, a way of speaking. It permeates every aspect of our lives. It's not just because, you know, good manners, right? It's only a portion. It's got to come from within the person, the good.
So this is basically the character of a
yes,
person.
the good in you.
Yung character ba, Dines?
Yes.
Nababago pa ba yun?
All right. Yes and no.
Trick question. Ano?
Yes and
Okay.
no. For people who are really very concerned about other people, yes, because they'll go out of their way, and even if it causes them,
Mag-exert ng effort.
yes, it causes them effort, sometimes pain, sacrifice, but because they don't want other people to think ill of them, and they want to be kinder, to be more considerate of others, so they'll go out of their way to change.
Okay.
But you know what? I've seen others who don't seem to care. I'm telling you.
Mahirap yun. When
Oh my
there's no
gosh.
care, parang hindi na
Yes.
positive behavior.
Even
ano?
if they realize they're in the wrong, they don't even say, excuse me, I'm sorry, I apologize. No.
As simple as
no.
the magic words.
No. They refuse. There are some people who refuse to apologize.
Okay.
They don't care whether you forgive them or not. They want to have their way at all times. There are people like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, Lay, with your experience of how many nations?
Over 110
Over
nationalities.
110 nations. Okay. Now, masasabi mo, iba-iba ang culture natin. So, iba-iba rin ang behavior. Yes. Now, what would be one culture or one behavior na nagsastand out based on your memory?
You know what? In all the cultures, we have the same thing. Basically, before it was the golden rule. Treat people the way
They want you.
treat people the way you want to be treated,
Yes.
right? Now it has actually evolved.
It
Treat
has.
people the way they want to be treated.
Again, say that again, ha?
Yes.
Treat people the way they wanted to be treated.
Like,
But how do you
that is
know?
now the platinum rule.
It's no longer the
It's
golden
no longer
rule.
the golden,
It's
it's
now
the
the platinum
platinum
rule.
rule.
I like that.
That's nice.
It is the
I like
platinum
that.
really nice.
Yes.
Of course, developing an awareness of how you conduct yourself when you're with others.
Awareness.
Awareness. Say, for example, cultural intelligence.
Cultural intelligence. I like that.
Cultural
Okay.
intelligence, generational intelligence,
Iba yan, ha?
generational
Cultural
intelligence, generational intelligence, which is like all the generations from the traditional
Yes,
years,
yes.
baby boomers,
Yes,
X, to the millennials.
Yes.
There's also the thing called emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Emotional intelligence
Yes,
is basically how you deal with others, how you
Yes.
feel for others.
Yes,
And then last is actually the social intelligence.
The social intelligence.
Social intelligence.
Okay.
It's actually how you conduct yourself in a social setting.
In a
So
social
if you develop an awareness with that, say for example, you're going to a particular country. Don't go there without actually knowing or researching about...
Google lang yan.
Yeah, Google lang yan.
Ang dali na nun.
Wala na ngang borders ngayon eh. The world has become
Really
small
really
because the availability of information everywhere. Now,
Cellphone nga lang. May
ignorance is
information.
no longer an excuse. Ignorance is already a choice with the availability of information around
And
us.
when you do that, sorry ha, but when you do that, kasi let's say for example, before you go to a particular country and then you research, so that is already showing respect.
True.
You know, like identifying the do's and the don'ts, identifying what to do and what,
Exactly.
you know. Yeah, that's right. So people na mga magta-travel, you need to research on the
Right.
culture because different na. Tumawid ka lang ng 1 hour, 2 hours, iba na
Right.
yung culture.
The way they dress up, you should also
Right.
respect the way they dress
of
up.
course.
Even the religion.
Yeah, religion. Like for example, for us here in the Philippines, you can go to the malls wearing shorts, slippers, sleeveless, pag summer sleeveless. When you go to the Middle East, you cannot just go out like that. There's even a signage outside the doors of the malls that actually says you're not allowed to come in shorts, like, you know, plunging clothes,
Right,
like, you know.
correct,
So
that's
you should really do your little research before you
Right,
go to a
yeah.
It's
particular
very,
country.
very important.
I
That's
believe,
right.
I believe, Abby, no, that education also has a lot to do with
Education.
yes.
Level of education?
Yes, being
Okay.
kind and considerate. Because I realize when I encounter certain people who seem to be so rude, later I get to know them. And then I learn that they were never nurtured by their parents. Sad stories. And they went to certain schools that did not
Did not
bother.
teach the
Yes.
values.
Didn't. So I realized that certain people, as they grow more mature, will realize it only when it's pointed out to them. And that's why in corporations, it's so prevalent now that training is very high up there in their needs because they do realize that some other people may be brilliant in certain aspects, but in other aspects like
Technical
behavior,
knowledge.
so
right.
they don't even know how to deal with others.
That's true, that's true. You know what?
Yeah.
What makes me sad? To find out that schools are no longer offering GMRC,
Yes.
good manners and right conduct.
yeah, no.
During our time, we
Yeah.
used to have that.
Yeah,
We used to have
right.
PERDEF, GMRC, but not so much schools offer that anymore.
Because now they are so involved in the technical.
Technology.
The world has become digital, online. So now because of that emphasis on this aspect, the technical, now they are
soft
not.
skills are
the
Yes.
soft
forgotten.
skills are being exactly,
Right.
Lay, I will have to agree because ngayon kasi, di ba, typically both parents are actually working. So yung mga bata, naiiwan mag-isa or
Right,
sometimes
right.
with the television or with the computer, even worse, di ba? So doon na kumukuha ng values. Ay naku, oo nga, kawawa naman ang mga bata ngayong araw na to. Pero of course, how can we still instill? Let's say for example, we have the working people na. Okay, so
Right,
working
right.
people now. How do we instill to them the proper behavior, or should I say, the civilized behavior?
Right.
How can we
So
instill?
it's always it's always the parents who are the role models.
Okay.
So instead of
But what
shouting
if
at each other,
Wala na sa bahay.
Okay.
Out of the house. Working situation. Professional level.
right? So it would still pay to give our children or our relatives or friends some tips and guidelines, like it could come in the form of a book. All right, or certain gifts that you give them that will have this, for example, quotations
Or
on
even
yes,
movies.
Yes,
To
that-
inspire
Right,
them.
right. So
Pwede.
sort of you guide them towards the right movies to see, the right TV shows to see by talking
Nagtatrabaho na, may parental guidance pa
yeah.
rin.
Talking about
Parental
the
control.
benefits, yes.
Okay.
So, in other words, while it is true that more and more our careers take us out of the home, but it's still the parents' obligation to see to it that you go beyond the home. So, there are ways of doing that.
That is true. Now, may I ask, what about that angel healing that you do, Lay?
The angel healing is actually...
It has something to do with behavior
It
and
has
how
something to-
how you
it-
see
it
the
of-
world. parang
yes, it
ganon?
has,
Okay, I'd like to hear that.
It's more of the healing of inside,
Inside
because of
healing.
course, as we've said, like image is not only what you see outside. How you feel inside actually affects
It
your
does.
outer
Reflection lang
appearance.
naman yun eh, di ba?
Kaya nga yung mata mo, di ba? Pag malungkot ka inside, kitang-kita sa mata.
Bumababa,
No matter
yes.
how much you
Nice.
smile, kikita siya. Angel healing therapy is more of a guidance therapy. Guidance therapy in a sense, like I do it with cards. It's like yung, alam mo yung parang the closest comparison ng ginagawa is maybe yung mga nagta-tarot reading.
Oh, okay.
Instead
something
of like
that.
tarot cards, I use angel cards.
Okay.
So depending on how you want to be guided, that's how I'm going to arrange my angels. And I'm not the one who's talking. Basically, it's just being
Just
channeled
through.
to me. It's just through me.
I
I
see. Okay.
Totoo. I think when we want to heal the outside, you start really healing the inside. It's like getting to know yourself well. Because in this fast phase of life, sometimes we don't even know who we are anymore.
Right, right.
Diba? Ay, naku, this is so interesting.
Yeah, I
But,
remember
yes.
something. Some of our executive clients actually have asked us to coach even their children. Not only stop the coaching with them, but some of them have hired us to coach their
That is
teenage
true.
children for
Because
proper manners, right conduct,
I
and yeah, all those
absolutely agree,
things.
because if you experience something good, you automatically you want to pass it on to your
Right,
children.
right.
Very, very good. Very, very interesting topics, but we have to pause for a short break because as we come back, we will have more to talk about. So, be back, okay? Marami pa yan.